Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. It is Tuesday and I'm here by myself for a little bit. My mom's coming, but first of all, let's make sure we have sound and video, or sound and you can see me. All right, I'm on. Let's see if you can hear me. Yes. I'm on. Let's see if you can hear me. Okay, so my mom, she's at dance, but she said she's coming. I told her she didn't have to, but she said nope, she would be here, but she's going to be here a little bit late. So anyways, today's Tuesday because I am going, normally I'm here on Thursday, but this Thursday I'm flying to West Springfield, or Hartford, Connecticut, and then going to the West Springfield show. So if you're in Massachusetts, West Springfield, Stamper Con is the name of the show. It's this weekend. It's at the Eastern States Exhibition Center, I think, if my memory serves me right. And it's Friday and Saturday. So that's where I'll be, and I'll be flying on Thursday, so that's why I'm on today. Another question came up and I forgot to put it in my newsletter. There was supposed to be a show at the end of June at the Brooklyn Center in Minnesota, and that one was canceled because they couldn't get enough vendors for it. So let's see, everybody can see and hear me, yay. I don't have YouTube on here, so, I mean I do, but I don't go back and forth between YouTube. So my mom will check out YouTube when she gets here. She'll be flying in like the wind. Anyways, let's go down to the table for a minute because we're going to look at our cards that we have coming up. Kits are going to be shipping tomorrow, and those are for the June Crafters Classroom and my June Fun Time Thursday. So I have to go around to the table and then come back, so hang on. All right, let's see, overhead, there we are. And now I'm gonna... Okay, so this is what we're going to be playing with today. And some of my cards are at Wendy's because she's kitting them. So we have the UR class that centers around this stamp set, and then in the kit you do get the stencil, so we'll be using the stencil in class. You get a butterfly die, which is on the other card that's at Wendy's house. And this is the last card. I kind of liked it better before I did some dark areas. So I did brush blend this one. I was thinking that we might be able to watercolor, but using the ink pads, those don't watercolor as well. So we are just going to brush blend unless you want to watercolor with your own watercolors. But it's embossed in white, so then it does like a reverse thing, which we're going to do today too. So anyways, those are two of the cards. The butterfly one is at Wendy's, and then that's our Crafters Classroom. And then our Fun Time Thursday, she has two of the cards, and here's the last two with the ice cream cones. So we have a slider card. Okay, and then with the piece that we cut out of here, I just made a simpler card with an die-cut ice cream cone. So those are two of the cards. The other ones are one is a triple circle Z-fold card, and the other one, for the life of me, I cannot remember what it is. So, and that's okay. Yeah, I cannot remember what the other card is. But anyways, Wendy's got it at her house. She's taking care of it really good, and she will be bringing it back to me so we can get them in the kits and then get them out. So we're talking about watercolor papers today because it's a little bit confusing because we have two different white felts. So we have the Nina Royal Ultra White Felt, which is 110 pound, and then we also have an 80-pound white felt that doesn't work as good for watercoloring. And then we have the Stonehenge, which is great for watercoloring, although you can't do a technique that you can do on here on the Stonehenge. for some reason. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is we're going to talk about the different types of watercolor and why this white felt doesn't work like this white felt. So let's first go, and I've got some swatches here. And you can definitely feel the difference, and you can even see the difference if you're holding them next to each other, which you probably can't see on camera. But our 80-pound white felt, you can feel the difference for one. But the 80-pound white felt is whiter than the 100-pound or 110-pound Royal Ultra White felt. And then both of those compared to the Stonehenge. The Stonehenge and the Ultra White felt are close in the same color. This one has a little, the Stonehenge has a little bit of texture. So, and hang on, I'm just going to write on these because then you'll know exactly which one I'm using. So we have the 80-pound white felt. And this is not good for watercoloring. This is just to let you know that if you order white felt on the website, there's 2 of them, and then you have the 110-pound Royal Ultra White felt, and that one is good for watercoloring. And then you have the 140-pound cold press, and that's Stonehenge. Okay, so those are the 3 different ones that we're kind of going to be looking at and playing with today. So let's see. Okay, I'm trying to look at comments. It doesn't look like there's very many. You probably all know that my mom's not here, so I probably won't see him that much anyways. So anyways, I'm going to use the Peerless watercolors, which I've done in class before, which I think are awesome for watercoloring. They're these little painted on swatches, and sometimes, like when you take my classes, you will get like a little palette like that. So I think that's what I'm going to use. And then I have my water brush. And if I had some paper towel, which I don't think I need it, but just in case, I like to have some handy. But anyways, so you can pick up your color off of the, so I'm going to squeeze up. I usually don't want that big of drop on my Peerless because it's very concentrated. So you'll get a good amount of color off of a little bit. And on the Stonehenge, you can keep moving it around, where once it soaks into the Royal Ultra felt, see how I have a line there? Because it doesn't move as much once it soaks in. The Stonehenge, you can keep moving around. See how I don't end up with a little line there, even after it's soaked into the paper a little bit. So, and then on the 80-pound, you can watercolor on it, but this one, the more you work it, it is going to pill up. So, and that one soaks in. So you can do light techniques on here, but, and you probably can't see it on camera, but I'm getting pilling on there just with that little bit of brush blending. Okay, so that's why the 80-pound white is not good, because I'm getting pilling of that. And it's also going to warp a little bit more because it is lighter weight. So that's why the, let's see if I can get a different color. That's why our Royal Ultra White works better. It's a little bit thicker. Now, you will get pilling on the Royal Ultra White. Now, these are little pills from that I had on here and then I picked up. But on the Royal Ultra White, even if I work this too much, I will get pilling on the Royal Ultra White. So it's not anti-pilling. It's just a little bit thicker and can handle a little bit more water than the 80-pound felt. Okay, so I'm going to take that one off of there. but pretty much on the stone hedge. On the stone hedge, now the little pilling things there are still from the last one, but you're not going to get the pilling. Okay, and eventually on the stone hedge, it's going to soak in. Like I have my distinct line right here between my blue and my green, but you could tell in the very beginning I was able to keep working that for a little bit. So, okay, so I want to go back to that, and I want to clean my brush off, so I really do need a piece of paper towel, but I don't have one. So my mom has some Kleenex over there. Kleenex probably not the best thing, but it will work. It's better than my shorts. So one thing that I do like to do on the what am I saying? The cold press is I've done a scene on here because it's really good. The water moves around a lot. So we'll do that in just a little bit. But one thing you can't do on the 140-pound cold press, you cannot emboss. So you can do a background down there and then you can stamp. On the 110-pound Royal, you can emboss an image on there and then do like a reverse image. So I want to do that on both of these. On the cold press, I'm going to do my background first. On the Royal Ultra White, I am going to heat emboss it and then do the same background. So I'm just going to move some stuff out of the way here. Virginia, if you brush water on the Royal Ultra White initially before you apply the color, is there a difference so that there is, hang on, I got to read the rest of her comment, so that there isn't a line? That's a good question. So let's try that. Hang on one second. Let me get back to my Royal Ultra White, and I'm just going to go to the back. And the other thing that we might want to try is spritzing some water on there and then going to our, because spritzing is a really good way to get some color on there. So let me try that, because we're playing here. Because then, and let's see if we're going to get our line. I'm going to pick up some blue. I mean, they blend a little bit more so you don't get that line. I still think the cold press is probably better for that. And the 80-pound I'm just going to set aside because, yeah, it totally weakened the paper in here. And then when I rub it, I'm getting that off. So I'm just going to set our 80-pound aside. I just wanted to show you that there is an 80-pound, and don't get the 80-pound mixed up with the 110-pound. And you can definitely feel the difference. So Sherry, which paper to use for different things is the biggest challenge. I totally understand that. I think my mom just walked in. Hang on one second. Anyways, so yes, Virginia, that helped a little bit, but I think that does, hi Mom.
Hi, Sarah.
That also added some water to it. So, you know, initially that helped with the blending and not getting the line. I think the cold press is the better one, but let's go ahead. I'm going to do a background on the cold press, and we are going to heat emboss on the Royal Ultra White, and then we're going to do the same background on both. So, and I'm going to do the heat emboss first, just so that can get a chance to cool. Yeah, he was out. He's fine. Dodge is here, and he's just saying hi to my mom. So, okay. So right now, all I'm doing is embossing, and I'm using a VersaFine, or a Versamark, and I'm going to emboss in clear. I'm just doing this because then we're going to show you the different background on both different papers. One you can emboss first, which is your 110-pound Royal Ultra White Felt. The Stonehenge will not let you emboss. So that one you pretty much have to stamp over it in black. That's why I'm doing my embossing first with my clear, because I don't want to clean my stamp after it has black on it. I mean, I will clean my stamp maybe eventually after it has black on it, but here I don't have to do it while I'm on camera. Okay. And I've got some clear embossing powder here. And what is the stamp you say? It's a birthday stamp, which I thought would look really good with an assortment, an array of colors watercolored on it. I don't know that I did a great stamping job on there. I might be doing it again. Let's emboss it and see. Now it's going to be hard for you guys to see because it's clear, but I can see it. I'm going to hold my heat gun out to the side just for a little bit and let it heat up a little bit before actually going on here, and I should have thought about that first. Okay. Now I can see my embossing. I really prefer this in white. But at the moment I cannot find my white embossing powder. We've been cleaning out my stamp room. And yeah, so some things are missing in action while we're cleaning. And I'm going to emboss this one more time because I don't think I did a great job. And maybe it's just me not seeing the white on white either. But I'm just going to try it one more time. Okay, so we're going to try that one more time. Just because. All right. How was your dance lesson?
Oh my gosh, it was so challenging. I'm just so challenged. It was a great lesson.
Good.
Hard, difficult. Moving up the ladder.
Well, if it wasn't hard, then you wouldn't be
yeah.
a lesson, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. I see you on YouTube. I see you on Facebook. I'm getting caught up here, everybody. So
I don't think people have been talking as much just because they know that I can't really answer. Becky's watching. Hi, Becky. It's class kit week, and I'm pretty sure Brian misses you.
We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you.
Especially because I had a question about my phone today, Becky, and I couldn't. Nobody knew.
Nobody knows the phone.
Everybody else has smart
Apple phones.
Apple phones, yeah.
And my mom has an Android.
Yes.
And yeah, Becky was the only one that could answer those questions for her. It was a Facebook question.
Nice. I don't know how I still got on my Facebook page, but it was there. It's down there now. I didn't post it. I wanted to figure out how to get rid of it. I couldn't.
She had a ghost in her phone.
Yeah, I had all kinds of ghosts in my phone last week. Oh, but what's your dad playing on my phone?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Again, you guys can't see the white on white. I'm having trouble seeing the white on white. So we'll just let that for a minute. Okay.
Sir, did you see the question that Virginia Hebert had? If
Yeah.
you brush, okay.
Yep, we
right.
kind of talked about that.
All right. Which paper to use for different things is my greatest challenge.
Yeah, that's... Got that.
Yeah, okay.
So now we're on the 140-pound cold press, and I'm just going to do a background. That's all I'm going to do. And it's really easy to achieve that on the cold press because it is so easy to easy to spread color on. I'm looking for a yellow, and this yellow I think is all done. Oh, nope, there's a little bit of yellow. So again, this is the cold press. And see how we can blend our colors together really well on there?
Yeah.
Let's see. Deep yellow, orange yellow. There's my orange yellow. Looking for a brighter orange. Oh, I might have used the brighter orange. And then let's go to our red. There. And
Hello everyone on YouTube. It's good to see you too.
Oh, now I'm on to purple, which I don't really want purple. So let's find there's scarlet, and then there's royal crimson. Okay, I wanted my royal crimson. I love that royal crimson color.
Kathleen, I just walked in the door, so you aren't too late in my book.
Yeah. You're not late at all. Nobody's late. Because you can join us whenever you can. Okay, brown. I'm looking for my purple. Green. Oh, see my deep blue. You can tell which colors that I've used a lot.
Oh, they're going to start on my house next. They're moving from side to side.
Siding wise?
Yeah. Dang.
Alright, so then let's get some blue mixed next to our purple. So yeah, it's much easier on
Ooh, I like that.
the cold press. I'm not running out of water, I'm just not, there we go.
You need water?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so that is our, and we can apply a lot of water to there. And once it dries, it will flatten out. But while this one's drying, because now we couldn't emboss this one. This one you can't emboss. So I'm going to do a stamp over the top of it. But it has to dry first. So we're going to set that aside while we go to our Royal Ultra White felt. So this one is the 140 pound cold press. And then this is the one that we just embossed. And we embossed it because on the Royal Ultra White felt, you can emboss it, which I do like that because I like to do things either with clear or white. Let's go get my color here. This one says deep yellow, but it's more of an orange, I think. Yeah, it's more of an orange. I want to get some yellow. Here we go. There's some yellow. I use the yellow a lot, so my yellow is pretty gone. Because the yellow I'll use as like a wash for a sunset, which is something I do want to show you too, because I think it's a really cool technique.
Oh, that is pretty.
But here, you can see the white of the, which color is this? Orange, yellow, that's flesh tint. Okay. Oh, that's not as dark. Okay, hang on. But if I let it sit, I'm going to get my lines a little bit, which...
What color is this? Orange, yellow, that's...
There.
Yeah.
This is flesh tint. I'm going to go on to my reds. Let's see, I'll get a little bit more lines on the Royal Ultra White felt. And if I brush it too much, it will eventually start to pill, where the 80-pound pilled almost right away. This one will pill if you brush it too much.
Sarah, how did Comment Sold go?
Comment Sold went good. I'm not going to say we're going to get it. Ryan's going to start working on it tomorrow. So it will not ship out until next week, for sure. Because
Becky.
Yeah. Becky.
Oh, man.
But see how you can get a much softer color? Like, I don't like that blackish color in there. I want to get back to my blue. Oh, this is the deep blue. So I would say your colors, you can get a little bit more vibrant color, but this with the white, you cannot do. That's with the Royal Ultra White felt. That you cannot do with the cold press because you can't emboss with the cold press. It just doesn't work. I've tried it multiple ways, multiple inks, and I just can't get it to work. So hang on, I'm gonna heat these. I want this one to dry all the way because this works really good for stamping over the top of it in a black ink. Now both of these you could, you know, just do a watercolor image. Both of them you could, you know, put your inks on a glass mat and then pick them up. But this is the two main differences between them is this one you can emboss on, this one you can't. This one, if you overwork it, it will pill. The cold press will not pill. The 80-pound will pill. And see how this one kept its flatness a little bit more. This one, because of the water and the heat, it's going different directions. And people have said, you know, try heating it from the back. So I just like to put a lot of tape on it when I have warped paper like that. So that did flatten it out a little bit. So we want to make sure this one is totally dry before we stamp our image on there. So, which I think it is. But so now we're going to do the same image, but we're going to do it on black because the cold press you can't emboss. All right. Now, when I have something that's edge to edge, because this stamp is really big, you can't fit your little magnets on there, which is kind of a bummer because you can't do it twice. So we do have a 5x7 swatch in this cold press, which probably would have been good because then I could put magnets in the corners and I could stamp it. Now, I kind of don't trust myself stamping sometimes on the cold press because it is so absorbent that sometimes you do want to hit it twice. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so I'm just going to totally switch this and go this direction so I can put my magnets over here where the stamp is not. But yeah, there is a 5x7 of the cold press too. So it gives you a little bit extra space. Now this is going to be interesting. Usually I'm not a heavy stamper, but I did get ink in the middle of my balloons. All right, I'm afraid. Very afraid.
Uh-oh, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, Sarah.
I know. Oh, see, I missed the middle. Sometimes with the big stamp, it's hard. You know, Impression Obsession had those roller, the mega mounts that were great for getting big images. Oh, I still missed a little bit in there. But you can see, oh, a little bit of tape on the back side of the paper. Wendy, that's
Yes.
brilliant.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
I don't know. I've never thought of that. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I love it when you guys share tips with me, because, yeah, you don't always think of everything. I love that.
Ooh, look at how nice that is. Yeah.
So there's our watercoloring on our 2 different types of paper.
Yeah, Teresa Conte said the same thing. Put a piece of washi on the back.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, thank you. But different look for both of them. I think you just get a different look because this one I think blends a little bit better. Your colors, you get a little bit more where it goes from color to color. Where this one you get a little bit more liney effect. So yeah, the 2 have their things. I just really like when I can emboss, and you can't do that on the cold press. So anyways, I do want to show you the how to do the sunset scene, because that's just one of my favorite things to do.
Hey, Wendy, thanks for mowing your neighbor's yard. That's really nice. That's why she's late today.
Oh, that's
I was dancing, Wendy. I wasn't doing anything as charitable as you were doing, so I just got here too.
so right now this is a piece of
Or get one of those sticky mats.
yeah, get a stick. Now sometimes this stuff doesn't cut unless I put a piece of Post-it note on it. Hang on a second. This is the Eclipse tape, but yes, I forgot that sometimes it doesn't cut unless you have like a piece it attached to a piece of paper. So there we go. Now it's going to punch really good. There we go. Yay. And the reason I did that is because I'm going to use that to mask off. So this is the cold press, and I'm going to find a water brush that is fairly clean.
Wendy, when our kids were growing up, they
We mowed
always went
lawns.
over and did lawns for.
Yeah, but we got paid $5 a lawn, so we weren't being charitable. We were like wanting money.
Oh, yeah, but I think there were plenty of times we made you go over and do it with
Oh, well, probably.
snow blowing and yard work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like the neighbors, but it was $5 a lawn when we did it. Where it's, I think, a lot more now.
Yeah.
we
Remember
had
Peg? You cut grass for Peg down at the very end of 4th Street.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking for yellow. Hang on a second. I've got to find myself some yellow. So I'm just doing a light color wash, which this one is really bright. So the other thing that you can do with the cold press is if you put this on there and it's too dark, you can pick it up. So I don't have a piece of paper towel, but my mom has some Kleenex, right? Can I have a piece of Kleenex, Mom? Oh, she can't hear me.
Oh,
A piece of Kleenex. So you can pick up color. So if you get too much on there, see how you can pick that up? Which is kind of a cool thing. But now if you take your,
no, but that is pretty cool.
yeah. If you take your, I'm trying to get the backing off of my ellipse tape, and I'm just going to put a circle down here. And I'm going to attach that. Now I'm going to go through my different colors.
No worries, Jessie. She forgot you were on today, Sarah.
Oh,
So,
yep, no worries. You just join us when you can.
Yep. It's a come as you are party today, so.
Come as you can. So this is just to do a cool little sunset, and it works really good on that cold press watercolor. And see, you can spread that color really easily. You know, or you could make little... Now I think I want some deeper red. Here at the bottom, and then I might do brown at the bottom too for like the dirt.
It is muggy outside, Sarah. If you haven't been out.
I took Dodge out.
Yeah, it is really muggy now.
Okay, and then let's add some brown. Oops. So there used to be, Impression Obsession had a line of like elephants and giraffes, which were really cool silhouettes, which this worked really good with that. So this, or you could do, you know, you could do a golfer on a sunset on the golf course. I should have done green on the bottom, because the new little golfer silhouettes would be good on the sunset. Or the fishing guy, if I would have done blue right here, the fishing guy would be really cool there too. Or blue's back. Okay, so now our big reveal for our sunset. So yeah, a silhouette there, then in front of there is really, and then you can bleed these colors in a little bit on the bottom because it's never perfect down there. So anyways, that's my little sunset tutorial.
It was fun.
So then you can add whatever you want. But yeah, I think the sunset, and if I would have done blues in the background, that would look really cool too. So anyways, so that was just our little comparison for, and we just touched on it just a little bit. Doing inks on your glass mat and then picking the colors up works really good with these. But there's our two, and we went through our main differences here between our cold press and our Royal Ultra White felt. And our 80-pound felt, which we're not going to use for watercoloring because it doesn't work so good. So anyways, thanks for joining me tonight, guys. What watercolor paper do you like? I need to get more paper. I mean, for watercoloring, really, I like the cold press. However, if I want to do something where it's stamped in white, I mean, you could stamp in white after the fact. On here, you could stamp and emboss, and no, you can't. You can't. You can't emboss on the cold press. So.
Okay.
Yeah, you just can't. Can you use Mr. Clean to strip it? To strip what? I guess I'm not sure.
Strip it. Mr. Clean to strip it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Virginia, because I'm not sure. But anyways, yes. If you had a really good white ink pad, you could probably stamp over the top of the cold press after it has color on it. But you can't emboss it. It will, I've tried multiple ways. So yes, for my watercoloring, I prefer the cold press. For just regular watercoloring where I'm not using a ton of color and I don't have to brush it a ton, then the Royal Ultra White felt is great. Plus it adds a little texture, plus you can emboss it ahead of time. So
Teresa Conte said use white pigment ink.
yeah, pigment, that's what I mean. You can use white pigment ink, but I haven't found a great white pigment ink that I like.
Okay.
The one I have is the Frost White, and I think I'm at the end of the re-inker, and I don't even know if they make that one anymore. So if anybody has a white pigment ink that they really like, I would be, oh, to give it a sun ray.
Ray, yeah.
Oh, to strip the color off of there. I don't know if you could. That's a very good question. We could take our sun ray stencil, we could have taken that and now watercolor over the top of that with, kind of like tones, just a little bit darker. So that we could do. But yes, if anybody has any white pigment ink that they are in love with, let me know, because I want one. So, because yes, you could do white pigment ink right there. So, anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. If you're on the East Coast, oh, Hero Arts has a great white. Okay, I haven't seen that one, but maybe I'll have to give that one a shot. But if you're on the East Coast and you're near Springfield, West Springfield, Massachusetts, I'll be there on Friday and Saturday at the show. Otherwise, we'll see you next Thursday. Bye, guys. Have a great night.